All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to cut through all the market noise, all the chart watching, and really track what matters in the Cardano ecosystem: execution. We're looking at projects that are actually building, actually earning, and planning for the long haul. So yeah, let's get right into it.
You know, it's a question every single crypto community asks itself. But the answer? It's definitely not in the daily price action. Nope. It's in the project updates, it's in the smart pivots, and it's in the real tangible results. So today, that's what we're doing. We're going to check the vital signs of the Cardano ecosystem's health, using some really interesting recent announcements as our guide.
First up, let's talk about the holy grail, right? Real yield. And I'm not just talking about standard staking rewards. This is about projects generating actual, sustainable value that flows right back to the people holding the tokens. And man, we've got two fantastic examples of this happening right now. Check out this number, 14,218. That is the amount of ADA that the Hoskilien project just cashed out from their World Mobile Airnode rewards. This isn't some theoretical number on a spreadsheet or a promise for the future. This is real value generated by real physical hardware right now.
And you know what? Hoskilien's own words just capture it perfectly. DePIN, that's decentralized physical infrastructure. It's all about putting hardware in the ground, running actual networks, and then seeing those rewards flow back. What's so cool here is it's proof that even a project that started as a meme coin can go on to fund real-world utility. Incredible.
But Hoskilien isn't the only one getting creative with yield. Over at Angel Finance, they're taking a totally different, but just as interesting approach. They're not just running digital stuff. They are literally in the middle of buying a real-world, cash-flowing business.
And here's what's so clever about their move. While that whole business acquisition is going through all the legal stuff, due diligence and all that, they're boosting rewards for their holders right now. This does two things. It makes up for a little dip in earnings, and it uses the low ADA price as a chance to get more tokens into their community's hands. It's just a really savvy play that builds value for the long term while rewarding people in the short term.
Okay, so building cool stuff is great, but it costs money, right? You need capital. And how projects go about raising that capital? Well, it says a whole lot about their strategy and their core philosophy. So next, we're going to look at two projects, Iagon and Atlas, that have taken completely different roads to fund their growth.
Let's kick things off with Iagon, because they just pulled a major 180. They had this whole community-focused royalty node sale all planned out. But then, in a pretty surprising move, they canceled the whole thing and sent everyone their money back. And why? To chase a more traditional funding route, one that's a lot more familiar and frankly appealing to big institutional investors.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It shows you how fast things can move in this space. In just a matter of weeks, Iagon went from a community sale to a $1.5 million loan facility. They said it themselves. This new structure gives them more clarity and focus, and it's a language that the institutional partners they want to work with understand.
And this right here really puts the two philosophies side by side. On one hand, you've got Iagon going for a structured loan. It gives them predictable capital, it doesn't dilute the token supply, and it looks really good to traditional investors. Then, on the other hand, you have Atlas going for a totally grassroots farmer program. This is all about building a super loyal community from the very beginning. Neither way is right or wrong, of course. It just shows you the awesome diversity of strategies that are playing out right now.
In the Atlas model, it's all about that community vibe. Pure and simple. It's about finding people who are passionate, giving them what they need to spread the word, and then rewarding them with a real stake in the project's future. It's kind of the classic Web3 playbook for building an army of loyal users right from day one. You know, real progress isn't just about the yield you can make today or the funding you get tomorrow. It's about laying a solid foundation for years and years to come. And that means doing the serious stuff, like securing your intellectual property and having a really ambitious long-term vision.
Hey, remember that loan Iagon just secured? Well, this is a perfect example of what they're using that money for, protecting their core tech. And here we go, the first big win from that strategy. They've successfully locked in a patent in Canada for their decentralized storage marketplace. This is a huge, huge step.
And it's so important to remember that patents aren't just boring legal documents. No way. They are a massive signal to big enterprise clients and partners that your technology is serious, it's defensible, and it's built to last. Iagon is basically building a moat around their innovation, and that is absolutely essential if you want to get real-world corporate adoption.
But look, protecting what you've already built is only half the battle, right? You also need a bold, ambitious vision for what's next, and that is exactly what we're seeing from World Mobile. They just dropped this incredibly ambitious roadmap that looks all the way out to 2026.
The scale of what they're planning is honestly impressive. We're talking about everything from turning Aeronode NFTs into real-world assets to launching their own chain, an AI assistant, and even putting their stratospheric tech into action. This isn't just a roadmap. It's a signal that they're expanding from just a connectivity provider to a full-blown infrastructure and technology powerhouse.
So let's step back for a second. We've seen real yield, we've seen super different funding strategies, and we've seen serious long-term foundational work. But what does it all mean? What is this telling us about the road ahead for Cardano?
If there's one big takeaway from all this, it's this. The Cardano ecosystem is maturing. It's growing up. We're moving past the phase of pure speculation and hype, and we're entering a new era of real execution, smart strategic planning, and tangible value. The evidence is just, it's all there.
And this slide right here does a great job of just tying it all together. You've got real yield, proven by Hoskilien's DePIN rewards and angel finance buying a whole business. You have strategic capital, shown by the contrast between Iagon's institutional loan and Atlas's community farming. And you have long-term vision, with Iagon's patent and World Mobile's massive roadmap. See? These aren't just random isolated events. They are clear patterns of a maturing, healthy ecosystem.
And so all of this leaves us with one final big question, doesn't it? We have undeniable proof that projects are building real, valuable, sustainable technology on Cardano. The execution phase is absolutely in full swing. The only question left is the rest of the world ready to use it? Thanks for tuning in.